Google says this lawsuit will do nothing to help consumers. To the contrary, it will artificially prop up lower quality search alternatives, raise phone prices, and make it harder for people to get the search services they want to use. What do you say to Google's response to your lawsuit?
Well, of course they're going to say that, and it's imperative that Americans understand that when they Google something, while it may seem free, it's not necessarily free because you're not having a freedom of choice. The reason why we join with the Justice Department and the 10 other states is to ensure that when you do, in fact, go to a search engine and the results that pop up, you're getting the best services and the best product put in front of you and not simply something that the search engine wants you to see. Google has about 90+% of the search engine market. And so this lawsuit is an antitrust lawsuit to ensure that other innovative companies have room to get in and to expand their business.
How much time did you spend talking to the DOJ? I'm just curious, in other states about choosing to join this. You know, it's all Republican states, as I understand it, but give us a little sense here in terms of what goes on in your office and the conversations you had as to why you felt this was necessary.
Well, we've had ongoing discussions for months, actually, about this and investigating Google. We launched the investigation earlier this spring, earlier this year, met personally with Attorney General Bill Barr about this lawsuit before deciding to file, reading the briefs personally to ensure that it was the best decision for Arkansas. And we want the Republican AGs, we welcome Democratic AGs to protect the consumers in their states as we are protecting the consumers in our respective states. And so I reach out across the aisle and say, let's all protect American consumers. And again, to make sure that they're getting the best results when they type that in. The best results shouldn't be hidden on page 5, 6, or 7. They should be on the first page of a search.
Leslie here. I'm curious if you've heard from people in Arkansas about the suit and whether they are concerned about the what the suit alleges to be antitrust violations by Google. Google's defense, as David mentioned, is that it helps the consumer. It makes their job easier. They don't go to Google because they have to. They go there because they choose to. So are people in your state worried about this? Have they come out in support of your decision to join this filing? Well,
ironically, Google claiming that people choose to, when in fact part of the reason for the lawsuit is that they have these exclusionary contracts with companies such as Apple. When you go to your phone or your device, Google pops up by default. And so most people don't change that default setting. And so it's being put in front of them without their choice. It's their choice perhaps to leave it. And we're just wanting to give Americans the choice. And yes, we hear from people across Arkansas. We actually get 2,000 to 3,000 phone calls per week at the Attorney General's office in Arkansas. Obviously, now everything to do with Google, it may be robocalls from individuals calling from out of country, but we get a number of complaints and people being concerned. Why aren't my products popping up? Because maybe they're not advertising enough with these companies. And so it's not only protecting those of us who are looking to make purchases, but those of us who are looking to sell our own products and services. It's protecting small businesses as well as all businesses. And we simply want Google not to break Google up, but to allow others back into the marketplace so we can have a free, innovative marketplace for everyone to participate.
You just said yourself that although it's the default, most people don't change it to a different engine, but they can. At least that's Google's defense, is that they can, and they can do it a lot more easily than they could when we were putting CD-ROMs in our computer to change service providers. Why is that defense not convincing to you?
Well, we'll see if it's convincing to the courts. I think the court will be the ones who decide this, and this is Google's initial response. Again, we want to give Americans the opportunity to choose and to get the best advice. I know if my daughter were sick, my 2-year-old baby girl was sick, and I was Googling to see if they're the best doctor, the best medicines, I want the absolute best for her, not the ones who Google or their advertisers believe I should look at. And that's what every parent wants. That's what everyone wants when they go to sell and participate on the internet. And that's all we're doing is simply saying this monopoly is in violation of antitrust laws in our respective states and with the Department of Justice. And we simply want a free marketplace for every idea to be available.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.